from Colombia, Lieri Hennessy Ramirez. And for the women from Ecuador, Alison Vizuete. The new climbers on your screen on M2 and W3 are Ana Luz Torres, and for the boys, Aiden Doyle. And of course, well, we've got this full wall of 10 climbers going at a time. It's pretty hard to keep track of all the scores, and of course you can't look at all the problems at once. So if you want to see where the horse race stands, visit ifsc-climbing.org. That's the official site for all of the international sanctioned comps. Click on the competition tab, then hit calendar. Scroll down a bit and you'll find the page for the Pan American Championships. Select your category, in this case either male A boulder or female A boulder, and you'll be able to see the scores as they're entered by our volunteer judges on the ground. So even though the results aren't technically official yet, you can see what's going on and follow all your favorite climbers. That's 1 minute left. We have not seen a top yet from anybody in this round. The ones, the twos, threes, fours, and fives, everybody's still working away. Oh, we just got a top on women's number 2. That top on women's number 2 is from Alexandra Mania of Ecuador.
Droi also from Colombia.
right, on number 1 for the women, Aranza Luna Velasco.
And from Mexico, Aranza Luna Velasco.
For the boys,
ladies.
Nicolas Huelar Vallejo. On the women's number 2, also out of view, Julia Bunko.
Ripping on 2.
And you guys can see the rest of them
Our man Fulkerson on 3.
already up in the higher parts of problem number 5 for the boys. Francisco Gonzalez. And of course, in this problem, so long as you got your feet on that volume, it's pretty easy to feel comfortable. But it's really taking the weight off there like he is now. And this is looking excellent from Francisco. Looking very stable. We might just see a top on men's number 5. One confident hand and a second, and that is a top on men's number 5. Great work from Francisco Gonzalez. Making Chile proud. We just got a top on men's 4 from Stefan Fellner.
Come on, Isabel. Working through.
Yeah, Isabel, come on.
Nice, Isabel.
Ooh.
Come on, Griffin.
Isabel Barrientos with an excellent top. Looked a little perilous there, but the beta works for her. Nice job from Isabel.
Come on, Ross, you got this, buddy.
Ross Fulkerson almost gets decapitated by a swinging brush. Yinky Ying really hauling over here on women's number 5. Which when you look at it, a lot of the holds seem relatively positive. They're all big edges that seem easy to grip, but just the way you got to oppose them all clearly makes it pretty difficult. We got 1:30 left. Ross Fulkerson giving another attempt on men's 3. Madison Fisher getting loud over on women's 3, trying to come around that corner to the sloper. Unfortunately, I looked away, so I'm not sure if we got a top on women's number 1 from Aranza Luna Velasco, but she's already sitting down with 1 minute to go, so I think she may have scored the top. Madison Fisher manages to stick the swing around the corner, but now after 4 minutes and 20 seconds of climbing, she's got to manage this mantle, which she's actually looking excellent in. It's all about bringing the foot up to match her feet.
Come on, Maddie.
30 seconds left. There's really no time for thinking about it. Just time to make it work. Let's see if she can manage to make the space and find the balance to bring that foot up. We're down to 17 seconds. 14 seconds left coming off. Ross Fulkerson also getting close. 10 seconds left. Trying to choose his crimp of choice. 5 seconds. And that is a buzzer beater of a top right there from Ross Fulkerson on men's number 3. Excellent climbing from Ross.
Ross with the buzzer beater.
Now out on women's number 1 from Ecuador, Emily Gonzalez.
Is out for the men.
From Colombia, Lieri Hennessy Ramirez. And for the women from Ecuador, Alison Vizuete.
Venga, Carito.
Number 1 from Colombia, Lieri Hennessy Ramirez. And for the ladies from Ecuador,
Venga, Caro,
Alison
venga.
Vizuete. Alexander on 2, then Anna Chloe and Anna. All the fellas.
Venga, Caro,
Nice
venga.
job.
The new climbers on your screen on M2 and W3 are Ana Luz Torres, and for the boys, Aiden Doyle. And of course, well, we've got this full wall of 10 climbers going at a time. It's pretty hard to keep track of all the scores, and of course, you can't look at all the problems at once. So if you want to see where the horse race stands, visit ifsc-climbing.org. That's the official site for all of the international sanctioned comps. Click on the competition tab, then hit calendar. Scroll down a bit and you'll find the page for the Panamerican Championships. Select your category, in this case either male A boulder or female A boulder, and you'll be able to see the scores as they're entered by our volunteer judges on the ground. So even
All right, I know we're listening to the Beatles right now, but we'll pick up the energy a little bit shortly. Whoever's got that playlist in their hand, something, a little more zip. I don't need the Beatles right now. Come on, people, let's make a little bit of noise. Come on, raise the energy a little bit. Come on, come on, we don't want to go to sleep out here. I know it's a long day, but we gotta give these guys a little bit of energy. Let's go in. Come on, go get some.
Venga, Ale. Venga, Emi, venga. Venga, Emi, venga. Buena, venga.
Venga, igual.
Venga, venga.
Chloe. Come on, Chloe. Yes, girl. That's strong. Come on, hang on, Chloe. Chloe Earl. You don't look tired at all. Come on.
Chloe Earl manages to get the bonus on women's 5. But again, a lot of full body compression. Makes that a tough climb to get through. Aiden Doyle was getting close on men's number 3, but not quite, which is a pretty common story on that problem.
1 minute.
Unfortunately, our climbers on men's 1, women's 1, or women's 2 haven't seen much success yet,
Come on, Felipe. Vamos, vamos, Felipe.
but they are definitely some of the harder problems of the round.
It's all right, brother. Come on. Come on, Chloe.
Venga, Emi, venga. Venga, venga, Carito.
All the way to the end of the clock.
That's the end of that round. Unfortunately, no tops, but we got some new climbers out. For the boys from the United States is Colin Wills on men's number 1. If I'm seeing right, we've got Laylee Cooper of the United States on women's number 1.
Nice work, Stefan.
Stefan Wills on, got that backwards. Colin Wills on men's number 1 from the United States, manages to get the flash. Also from Mexico, Aranza Luna Velasco, women's number 2, gets a top on that as well. Based on the time, I think it was a flash, but I didn't notice any previous attempts. And up on men's 5, we may just have another top.
Nice work.
Excellent job from Stefan Fellner. Yeah, problem number 5 so far, including Stefan, has only seen 3 tops. Problem number 2, unbelievably, he's only got 1 top so far. Ross Fulkerson on men's 4. Looks like he's going to lock down another top on men's 4. Seems to be one of the more consistent toppable problems. All in all, definitely a hard round, working the climbers.
Come on, Isabel.
Keeping the setting at a high international level and asking a lot of them. But this is the Pan Ams, and of course the climbers in this category that we're watching as we speak are the ones that could be eligible to head to the Youth Olympic Games to represent their country in 2018. So we got to make sure the climbs are hard so that they earn it.
Come on, get some squeeze in here. Come on, Madison. There you go, Maddie. Come on, keep it up. Ain't no thing.
It's a minute left for our climbers on the wall. Laylee on women's 1, consistently getting up to the finish hold, just not quite able to control it. And really bad sloper up there.
One more shot.
And with 20 seconds, seeing most of the climbers off the wall getting ready to take their rest, while the next climbers are ready to step up.
Ready, full effort, right down to the wire.
Next up on women's 1 is going to be Sophie Buitendijk of Canada. And from Guatemala on men's number 1, Junior Lopez.
All right, open on number 1 from Guatemala, Junior
And the pronunciation for Sophie Buitendijk's name is in contention. I'm not very good when it comes to, I'm going to guess, Dutch names. So we'll go with Buitendijk, or Buitendijk. I apologize to the whole family.
When's the last time you saw this in Canada? We got climbers from Argentina, Brazil, Ecuador, Colombia, Mexico, and the U.S. all on the same wall. People, this is exciting.
Pete Wood's getting the crowd excited, and of course something else to keep you excited. In just a couple climbers, we're going to be having World Youth Championship medalist Brooke Rabatou coming out for the women's climbers. So we expect big things. And lots of male crushers you may know the names of, including Clay Gordon from the States, Canadian champion David Trudeau, and climbers from Argentina, Colombia, Ecuador. We're not done quite yet. But of course, when these climbers are done, we're going straight on to the junior climbers from what I understand. There's been no indication from the route setters that they're going to change the route setting. So I think we are going to be rocking with exactly these problems for our junior competitors. So we're still in for a few more good hours of rock climbing. And of course, you can find all the scores for all of this action at ifsc-climbing.org. Follow the link under competitions for calendar and scroll down for the Panamerican Championships, and you'll see all the scores there under each category. Sophie Buitendijk on women's number 1. Like a lot of the climbers on women's 1, doing pretty well through the steep, but when you get to that sloper, you've still got your body weight under the overhang, trying to control a really, really oblique sloper. Nothing to crimp, really nothing to get any grip on. It's just all about that contact strength, apparently. But we got 2 minutes left. There's still lots of opportunities. Junior Lopez trying to work out men's number 1.
There you go, brother. Come on, Aiden.
Aiden Doyle on men's 4. Looks like he's getting the top on that one. Nice job, Aiden. That's 1 minute left.
1 minute.
Hey, les voy.
Sophie Buitendijk looking like she's going to give one last attempt with 33 seconds left. Emily Gonzalez on women's 2, still trying to figure out how to get her way up to bonus on women's 2. And it looks like Junior Lopez is done on men's 1. Going to save some energy. And with 10 seconds left, getting ready to welcome new climbers to the wall. From the United States on women's number 1, we're now welcoming Georgia Bank. And from Argentina, Valentin Sternik will be on men's 1.
And from the U.S., Georgia Bank. Lally on 2, Alex on 3,
Griffin Barros King is not wasting any time on men's number 4, looking like he might secure a flash here.
Well, just like that, I guess.
And he does with only 48 seconds on the wall, knocking out the flashes for Team USA. Laylee Cooper looking good on women's number 2. She's got bonus for sure. Just trying to get her way up to the finish, which she gets one hand on. And it looks like Laylee Cooper is taking a top on women's number 2. Ross Fulkerson on men's 5. Maybe just being a little too aggressive standing up, knocking himself off the wall. Canada's Julia Bunko on 4 and Madison Fisher on 5 working together. Which, based on the holds, I thought would be some of the easier problems of the day. And all the problems are hard, but unfortunately I didn't get to feel those problems, and it seems like they're much harder than I thought they were, so looks can be deceiving. But hopefully we can see another top on women's number 5. We saw at least one already. Valentina Aguado from Argentina managed to put it down. Ross Fulkerson looking okay, doing what looks like a 2-finger undercling on the slab. Doesn't quite work out. Georgia Banks still trying to make women's 1 happen. Valentin Sternick trying to do the same on men's 1. Ross Fulkerson again getting up towards the top of the volume. He's got to be careful he doesn't toss off. Starting to go for the old no hands rest there on number 5. Now he's just got to confront those crimps, let those tiny footholds take all the weight. And it looks like he's doing a pretty good job of it. Let's see if he can get his body over to the left. He certainly took that from further right than most climbers have. Most climbers have been a little more centered under the finish hold. We'll see if we can get back up there. There's 1 minute and 24 seconds left on the clock. Ross Fulkerson manages to make it go on men's number 5. Good way to finish the round. With 30 seconds left, Madison Fisher really wants to take down women's 5. See if she can make this thing go. Jamming the knee bar in there. Making good progress. With 18 seconds left, she keeps this together. It might go down. Excellent heel. Oh, but just doesn't have it in the fingers to lock down the crimps. She's going to be bummed about that one. But excellent work from Madison Fisher. On men's number 1 now, Christian Lanuza from Guatemala. And from Mexico on a women's number 1, Valeria Macias Ferreira.
Sophie Butendyk and Emily Allison Alexandra.
Sophie Butendyk on women's number 2, looking good through the crimp ladder. She's got one hand on the top, just getting stable, getting the second hand up there, and that's a top for Sophie. Aiden Doyle on men's 5, getting up high. We'll see if he can finish off those last few feet to the finish hold. And Aiden gets it. Nice top for Canada to finish out his round.
Venga, Carlos.
Carlos Rodriguez on men's number 3. The bonus is a really brutal sloping Gaston. Let's see if he can manage to control that thing and get up to the crimps. Not this time, but we still got 2 minutes and 53 seconds. Allison from Ecuador on women's number 4. Fighting the good fight, trying to take that layback and keep her feet coming with her, but very tough problem. That layback volume is pretty comfortable. Just finding the place to keep your feet so that you stay balanced and stay pushing into that is clearly one of the hard spots. Alexandra Mena on women's 5, putting in a lot of work. Needs a lot of compression on that climb, and she's clearly putting in the effort she needs, but see if she can make it up to the bonus of the top. But that has been an absolute shutdown problem for most of our climbers today. Junior Lopez trying to work out the start on men's 2. Christian Lanuza on men's 1, hoping to get to bonus. We got less than a minute remaining for our climbers here. Lieri Hennessy Ramirez is looking good on men's 4. This is the tough spot, getting that crimp side pull. 40 seconds. We'll see if they're going to take another go at it.
Vamos, Carlos. Come on, Junior. Come on, Junior. Venga, venga, venga. Venga, Junior.
Now out on the first problems. For the boys from Canada is Mitchell Haight. And on women's number 1, World Youth Championship medalist Brooke Rabitou from the United States.
And from USA, Brooke Rabitou, out number 1. Georgia on 2, Lally on 3, Aranza on 4. And Julia Longo rounding out on number 5.
Griffin Barros King getting high on 5 real quick.
Valentine
Brooke Rabatou looking solid and earning the flash on women's number 1. Great job, Brooke. Georgia Bank looks like she's cruising through women's number 2. Just got to get 2 hands on the top. We got 1 and 2. Top for Georgia. Laylee Cooper pondering women's number 3. Is a little bit hard to see from your perspective, but you're trying to get 4 points down on that ledge hold by leaning your back into the wall. You got to get turned around a bit using some really, really tiny crimps just to position yourself to launch out around the corner. Hopefully secure that sloper, and from there, you got to get the mantle hand-foot match, a full stand-up to get to the finish. Aranza from Mexico on women's number 4, actually looking really good right now on this. She's getting up high on the layback. Let's see if she can lock down a top. She's got 1 hand on it and a second hand. Excellent top for Mexico. Great work, Aranza. Mitchell Haight on men's 1, cursing his fingers. Seems like those crimps are still taking no prisoners. Men's 1 and women's 2, both very crimpy climbs, but the girls seem to be having a much easier time of it than the boys are. Griffin Barrows King on, or just off, men's 5. Getting really high up there and looks pretty comfortable with his feet on the little jibs, just too far right to really hit the finish. You got to move over a little bit. Nicholas from Colombia on men's 4, trying some interesting beta. Seems like he's probably more comfortable with slopers than crimps. He seems to be trying to bump right up there. We'll see if he can make that beta go. That would be a fun thing for the setters to see somebody break the beta. Griffin Barrows King back up on 5. And Laylee Cooper's managed to get to the mantle on women's number 3. But of course, the killer part is trying to get the hand-foot match while staying balanced. If you end up leaning too far back, you're going to get knocked right off that hold. And with a minute left, the pressure is on. See if she can keep it together. It looks like she's got the foot on, going for the stand-up, and it looks like we got a top on women's number 3. Very excited crowd for Laylee Cooper of the United States. Mitchell Haight on men's 1, clearly expressing some frustration. Getting up higher, but those crimps are killer today. .16 seconds left. Griffin's high. Maybe in a better position to reach out towards this finish. Good stand-up, still controlled. 7 seconds left. Goes for the leap and gets 1 hand, but just pops off. Excellent effort from Griffin. Maybe not the finish he wanted, but awfully close. Props to him.
All right, welcome to number 1.
Our next athlete's out.
Struthers from the USA.
For the boys, we got Sam Struthers from the United States. And for the ladies, Wera MYA Torres from Colombia. Also out of view on women's number 2 is Valeria Macias Ferreira. We'll see if she can make some work.
Sophie on 3, Naomi Gonzalez over here on 4, and Alison Mizorte on 5.
Allison Bizuerte on women's number 5. Actually looking pretty good for an early attempt. Just having a little bit of trouble getting the feet together. 4 minutes left on the clock. Sam Struthers getting high and just trying to reconsider his foot placement to stay balanced for this finish. This holds a real small. If your body's out too far, it's pretty hard to commit and stick that finish hold. Again, pretty well every hold that they're climbing on men's one is a foothold on a roughly 5-degree angle. So you got to put in that work. If you're watching along at home, make sure you share this event with your friends and family. Send out a tweet. Maybe fire off a photo of your watching situation. Maybe you got some popcorn with you. Maybe you're lying in bed or hanging out on the couch. Maybe you're at work watching this from your office. Take a photo, put it on Instagram. Let your family know on Facebook. Make sure you include the hashtag ClimbingPanAm2017. Also the hashtag Access Escalade Montreal. They're the people behind this event. We want to make sure they know that we care about what they did. And share those pictures with the Access Escalade Montreal account on any of those 3 services. Sam Struthers takes a fall, just reaching for the top on men's number 1. Sophie Buitendijk on women's number 3, managing to get around the corner on that sloper. And of course, as we talked about in the last attempt, now is the real challenge of hitting the mantle, which she does easily. Now it's about trying to get that foot up. And you can see in her face she is working hard, trying to make sure she stays breathing. But it looks like she gets a bit of her foot, trying to get the whole thing on there. She's not comfortable quite yet. Trying to wiggle it on. And it looks like she's going to go for it. Excellent job from Sophie Buitendijk. Wonderful top. We got 1 minute left for our remaining climbers. And our next climbers on the wall from Chile, Emilio Rios is on men's number 1. On women's number 1 is Natalia Grossman from the United States, and also off camera, Brooke Rabatou is about to give her first attempt on women's number 2. Got a strong set of American women on the walls. Brooke Rabatou, Georgia Bank, Laylee Cooper. Natalia Grossman looking good on number 1. Brooke Rabitou just gets the top right here on 2, so that's 2 flashes for her. Natalia Grossman getting her hands up on 1, but just trying to figure out how she's going to match that thing, which is the problem for most people up there. Colin Wills looking excellent on men's number 4. It looks like he's going to lock down the top. Nice work from Colin. And Nicholas from Colombia on number 5. Just getting shot off the slick footholds down on the volume. If you want to follow along with the results, make sure you check out ifsc-climbing.org. You can find the live results being updated as the climbers finish their time. You can start to get an idea of which problems are easy, which problems are not, just based on the number of tops each one has achieved. You can start to get an idea of the leaderboard as well and see who's going to be making it onto semifinals tomorrow. We're going to be starting up the semifinals for the B category tomorrow around 10 o'clock. And then our juniors and A athletes will be coming out around 3 o'clock. And then, of course, on Wednesday, we're going to finals for all 3 categories as well, which is where the real action is going to happen, and we're going to start to figure out who's going to the Youth Olympics in Buenos Aires 2018 to represent their country. Mitchell Haight's got some interesting stuff going on over on men's 2. In a nice relaxed position now, good for him. Laylee Cooper trying to work out this layback sequence. Natalia Grossman finally took care of women's number 1. It was not a flash. I think it was her second attempt.
Come on, Mitchell.
Emilio Rios is still trying to sort himself out on men's 1. Mitchell Haight looking good on men's 2. Hitting the finish sloper but not holding it. Sloper clearly not what he expected it to be. That's 1 minute left. Georgia Bank on women's 3. Unfortunately, just couldn't keep the mantle together. Emilio Rios still trying to work out men's 1. Hoping he can get some score on that thing. He's definitely putting in the work to deserve it. Mitchell Haight probably taking his last attempt on men's 2, which he grazed the finish hold in his last attempt.
Come on, Mitchell. Venga, avanza.
Valentin Sternik deciding to call it a day on men's number 3.
Vamos, Nico.
Nicholas on men's 5. Trying to keep his feet confident through from Colombia. Lieri Hennessy Ramirez. And for the women from Colombia, Lieri Hennessy Ramirez. And for the women from Ecuador, Alison Vizuete. The new climbers on your screen on M2 and W3 are Ana Luz Torres, and for the boys, Aiden Doyle. And of course, well, we've got this full wall of 10 climbers going at a time. It's pretty hard to keep track of all the scores, and of course you can't look at all the problems at once. So if you want to see where the horse race stands, visit ifsc-climbing.org. That's the official site for all of the international sanctioned comps. Click on the competition tab, then hit calendar. Scroll down a bit and you'll find the page for the Panamerican Championships. Select your category, in this case either male A boulder or female A boulder, and you'll be able to see the scores as they're entered by our volunteer judges on the ground. So even though the results aren't technically official yet, you can see what's going on and follow all your favorite climbers.
Venga, señor. Vamos, 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 señor.
That's 1 minute left for our remaining competitors. Fortunately, we haven't seen much action on men's one, women's one, or women's two during this round. Still just trying to figure out how to get out of these tricky starts and achieve bonus at the top. Things are looking good over on men's number 5. Carlos getting real close, and if he can get both fingers on it, but it doesn't look, oh, that is tense with 20 seconds left. He's got to make a decision now. He will not get a second chance. And a heartbreak of a finish move. He's got 13 seconds left. I don't see it happening, but we'll see what he can do. Either way, some excellent climbing. Why not throw all that energy when it's your last attempt of the day? Good work on him. So we don't have any more female climbers coming out on the new problems. There should be a small gap of competitors before the junior age women start to come out. Or they may wait until men and women come out together, which means we'll have to wait until all of the A boys are done. New out on men's one, David Trudeau from Canada. And still off camera on women's number 2 is Natalia Grossman.
Social media, branding,
And our announcer, P. Woods, making a really good point that aside from all of the climbing going on this week, the event's also done a really good job of putting together a series of clinics and workshops, not just for athletes, but also for coaches, officials, judges, route setters, folks that work in climbing management. Coming up tomorrow night is a workshop for athletes on how to become a better ambassador for brands. So if you want to start to figure out how you're going to make yourself a more viable target for people to sponsor you, that's an excellent workshop to attend. Some coaching networking coming up on Friday. And David Trudeau secures a top on men's number 1. Brooke Rabatou trying to figure out her way around the corner on a women's 3. Georgia Bank putting up some serious fight and getting high up on the women's 4. It looks like I jinxed it, just coming off. Still got 2 minutes and 27 seconds left in this round. Valentin on men's 4. Just getting through this part of the problem down bottom. Here it becomes all about your feet to set yourself up in a good way for this side pull crimp. You really got to make sure your weight's not pulling you out too far, otherwise you're going to fling right on out.
Let's go, brother.
He can tell, he knows that he needs to do something.
Come on, brother, finish it out.
And just missing the crimp. You got to figure out something with your lower body to stop yourself from going out around. Brooke Rabatou on women's number 3. Topping out. It's nice to see some tops on that slab problem. Would love to see more tops on women's number 5. But it is a burly, full body problem. And when it's your last 1 out of 5, I can understand if you're feeling pretty darn tired.
Come on, Mitchell. Come on, Georgia. You got a minute. Haley, you got to empty the tank. Last boulder. Come on, Mitchell. Come on, level tank.
34 seconds left on the clock. Laylee Cooper setting up for probably last attempt on women's 5.
All right, Laylee.
Valentin down for good. Laylee as well. Georgia Bank putting in one more attempt with 20 seconds left.
Come on, Georgia. Keep working, Georgia. Go, man.
And our next athlete out for the men from Canada is Man Ellis.
Please welcome Man Ellis from Canada.
And we do have a girl sitting in the chair for women's 1, and so that would be our first competitor from the junior category. So in about 4.5 minutes, when the next athletes come out, we will have junior climbers starting to be on the wall for the women.
And down on the end there we got Junior Lopez. Christian Lanucha. Sam Struthers on 3. Play on 2. Vamos, Junior. Go, man.
Christian on M4, looking good, popping high heels. You gotta admire that. Getting that left foot up, he's gonna securely take that right hand crimp. If he can just make sure his feet don't blow, he might just get the top on this thing on his first attempt. Nice work from Christian Lanuza of Guatemala, taking the top on men's 4. His countryman Junior Lopez working away on men's number 5. And Man Ellis from Canada on men's 1. He's on the second last hold, again trying to sort out his feet for the throw to the finish. Manages to touch it, but it's an accurate throw to a tiny little fingery hold. But now he knows, and maybe his next attempt he will try and lock that thing down with a little more static movement. If you have any questions about the comp, feel free to shoot a tweet to me, just at Plastic Weekly. You can launch me any questions, or if you've got any concerns, anything we can fix for you. If the video's not right or something like that, if the volume's too loud, let us know. But if there's anything you're wondering, feel free to shoot us a question, and we'll try and get an answer for you. Still got a few more hours left of climbing, as we've still got the entire junior category to go, and still haven't seen our last A boy. So make yourself comfortable, because there's a lot of climbing going on. And this might be the most impactful category, as these are the climbers right now that you're watching, these A climbers, who are the ones fighting for the spot in the Youth Olympic Games next year. I know it's on all of their minds. And of course, that game will also be held in the Americas down in Buenos Aires, Argentina in 2018. Sam Struthers on men's 3, looking pretty solid, but getting to that puzzle of 4 crimps, it's really easy for your heel to blow, and your fingers can't get too confident up there. Maria Hidalgo Amezquita on the women's 2. Working away at the crimps, trying to make something happen alongside Man Ellis from Canada, who's facing a similar problem. Sam Struthers again going for that high heel, trying to keep it locked this time, but with a minute left, his hands just can't hold.
2 minutes, 1 minute. So, come on, Junior.
Valeria fighting hard on women's 4, but can't make it stick. Sophie Beitendijk on women's 5. Trying to piece this together, but again, the lower body tension here, trying to keep that double toe hook and get a heel up on the left and swing out to the right is asking a lot of the body tension and generating momentum. So 24 seconds left. These should be everybody's last attempts. Man Ellis still hoping he can pull on and grab finish, but I think he's going to back off with only 12 seconds left. Oh, no, he's going for another attempt. 9 seconds to go. And he's going to back off. Now for the boys.